Are vaginas as wet as seen in porn? Sometimes, sometimes not. It can depend on how turned on they are, how much foreplay has been done. It can also depend on birth control and other medication which can reduce the amount of lubrication created. Penises are sometimes as large as they are in porn. Vaginas are sometimes as wet as they are in porn. If you are doing it right, don't skip the foreplay. Sometimes, most of what you see in porn is lube though. Squirting is not rare, but not common. And in my experience takes a little while to adjust to your sheets will be ruined. But you can feel it when they are about to, and it does make you feel like a master of the craft. 2 pro tips since this seems like a bit of a newbie question. I'm sorry if not. 1. Keep lube in your room. Not every lady is the same and some need a little more down there. I doesn't mean she's not into you, just enough to get things going is usually good. Also, anal happens. You don't want to go and drive for that. It will hurt you both. 2. Learn to eat pussy and fucking do it like a champ. This is important. If you can eat pussy well, the other shit barely matters. If you get her off before you're even naked, you're the new daddy. Good luck. I think it pretty much depends on the women. I'm 62 years old. I learned quite a while ago how to excite a woman. One thing for sure, if you don't have it in the hips, you better have it in the lips. Sometimes is the right answer. Sometimes. Yes and no. Depends. Like if foreplay lasts a long time and I'm really into the dude, then yeah. But if the foreplay is meh or he's too focused on himself, then no. When I'm by myself, yes, usually. It also usually stays moist for a while after getting wet. Squirting is apparently not common, but I have experienced that too. Usually by myself, of course, but my BF has made me a couple of times throughout 2 years. Now sex is not like porn. Porn is like a TV show. Life would never be exactly like a TV show, just like sex will never be exactly like porn. Depends on the situation and the woman. Some regularly get more wet than others. As a photographer, models aren't naturally wet for nude shoots. They need help to look more slippery and appealing. As with anything, a job is a job, but they have to look the part. And most girls aren't obviously wet to the eye until they're spreading. Ben Shapiro says no, but in my experience it's a yes. Yes and no. Vaginal dryness is a real condition. It can be congenital or caused by something else. Also, if you don't know how to tease, they usually don't get wet. Know your circles, control your pressures, and find a rhythm. You have 10 fingers and a tongue, use them well. Usually wetter. Those chicks are bone dry without lube in porn. Never skip foreplay, and you'll see exactly how wet you can make a woman. Okay, Ben Shapiro, I see what you are doing here on your throwaway account. Arousal fluid is created within the vagina as part of the human sexual response cycle. Damn, you're so wet. First of all, that's discharge. Getting wet during sexual activity is a typical physiological reaction to prepare for sex. However, sexual arousal is both a physiological and psychological response. Female physical sexual arousal begins with the excitement phase. An increase in genital blood flow leads to vascular engorgement, swelling of the blood vessels. This increase in blood flow and pressure causes fluid transudate to be pushed onto the surface of the vaginal walls. 5. 6. Once you are fully physically sexually aroused, it's typical to feel vaginal sensations, swelling, and sufficient wetness. Arousal fluid is vaginal lubrication created to enable painless penetration and movement. Porn causes unrealistic expectations. Most popular porn is definitely unrealistic. Some women can get very lubricated on their own, but it's pretty rare to actually drip. Most of the time they use lube in those videos. Sometimes. Depends on how turned on the woman is. Age is also a factor in many cases. Typically younger women have an easier time getting wet over older ladies.